Carpaccio. But who is your favorite to keep an eye out for Navi Junior?
Personally, it would be Bits. I think we've seen him fairly regularly, just putting out above 20 kills in any game we saw in their game, especially against IZAKO BOARS. I believe Bit ended up going. It was 18 to 16. Sorry, 18 to 6. My apologies. At the end of that.
I was already thinking 18 to 16 and
yeah, sorry,
18 rounds.
IZAKO BOARS bit of class push from Dasparov. Finding X to open up. Shane falling instantly. As the push goes forward towards this A site, Topa finding the head of Shane. As IZAKO BOARS struggling to get onto the site, just taking fights actually on short. Bit finding Chewy as well. Tao spamming down Topa. 3 versus 2 now for Navi Junior on the retake. They do have a kit in the hands of Ankara. Spam comes through. Tao, well, Bit actually finding Tao instantly before he can find one of his own. Ankara fighting Avis. And that's a fairly clean retake from Navi Junior, not losing a single man. As the defuse will come on through.
Yeah, repeaking the long-range fights against USPs normally is not the best choice. Just get the bomb plant and try and disengage from that area. They were a man down from the get-go with a quick peek, but Navi Junior managed to recover that one pretty nicely.
Absolutely. And we're going to see a force spike coming out from the IZAKO BOARS. It's going to be that same hero AK buy we saw on Vertigo, where they would drop AKs to players with armor and use those 2 AKs to try and just get a bit of an opening. As they'll be the heroes. Topa finding access to instantly open up. And Topa finding Shui as well. Those are the AKs gone. They've got Tao with 1, but the utility was put on those as well.
Well, the 2 AKs have already been lost. So that is pretty problematic because that's just a free upgrade for Navi Junior as well.
And Ankara taking down Sen. And Ankara finding Avis as well. It's all on Shane. AK in hands in a 1 versus 5 as IZAKO BOARS facing the scary prospects of a repeat.
Yeah, this is not a great opener. This is oh no. Oh no.
And
will he be able to at least get a kill? Oh, I think he saw the shadow.
Quick and deadly, as he'll find 3 in that round. Topa finding 2 of his own. And IZAKO BOARS forced down to potentially pistols. You know, maybe the odd one brought here and there, as they buy down to about 2k. But I doubt we'll see much more.
This is problematic. Are they gonna go? Okay, they're gonna split their attention completely. Maybe just go for straight B rush. There's only 1 B defender right now, but that Molly is gonna force them off the push. Without any armor, you would completely get incinerated.
But there, we saw that nade from short into lower. It looks like Navi Junior completely aware of what IZAKO BOARS are trying there. That nade was just a little bit slower. That could have been a good 150 damage nade. And IZAKO BOARS down, go for short control. They don't really have the utility to go elsewhere. They've got a smoke and a flash. Bardarov going to be that point of contact. Bit low, that Molly by even more time.
Look at that off angle from Bit. Cross into my sight. Yeah, baby.
Take down Shane, falling on away. Got point contact. You won't find any actually. The double dink comes through instantly as he'll fall. Topa tapping down. Follow up push as well onto site. Bit finding 1, X is finding 1, Tao finding 1 of its own. As it goes into a 2 versus 2, and IZAKO BOARS doing a great job at making this even.
In before quickly.
As Ankara gonna tear the head clean off of Exus. He'll jump on up. Tao almost baiting him to do so. Ankara jumping up, finding that 2nd kill. Navi Junior finding their 3rd. 3-0 now as they lead against IZAKO BOARS.
But IZAKO BOARS with minimal commitment, they actually did manage to drop 3 guns and expend a lot of Navi Junior's utility. So a very worthwhile round in their favor. X is going to be picking up the op, and it's going to be Gospodarov versus X's op matchup.
Absolutely. Actually going to see X is now barreling it down mid. Scope up instantly on the corner. IZAKO balls now. Getting to this B play, making a bit of noise. However, Ankara, he's supporting Capacho there. That utility and just shutting down any push. Razed Exus doing a good job to get out towards mid. However, hasn't really been able to do much with it. He's scoped up, ready for that push to come back down from Ankara. However, he's fairly committed towards this B site, and I don't expect him to peek mid without a flash. IZAKO balls now. Pay attention towards short. We're actually going to see a bit. That's going to be a great nade. Wishing not landing deep enough though. Only doing a bit of damage towards Shane.
Problematic for IZAKO boards. They can't go for a lot for mid take, for instance. They've got almost no utility left in the bank. They're going to go for the quick A take.
How? Finding the bits. Sadra finding two of his own, two very quick kills. Molly as well, going to buy a bit of time, preventing any form of plants as he's wary for that follow-up push. Exus in mids, going to instantly lose his head. So Ankara there, a great shot. Into town now, 2 versus 4. As the odds are stacked firmly against them. Well, in the smoke, actually able to find Ankara. Push comes through, so Capacho able to take down towers. All on Shane towards backside. He'll take down Topa. However, he can't swing at all. Stadarov, AWP in hand, will take him down. The defuse will come on through, and Navi Jr. find 4.
Yeah, that was the lack of utility really bit IZAKO boards. They couldn't flash the opera off the angle because they didn't have any flashes left. So they had like 2 smokes, a molly, and a flash. Throw out the 1 flash, he dodges it, and immediately afterwards, it's just, you know, prize shooting for him. He ain't gonna miss those shots, and he completely annihilates IZAKO boards.
We are going to see a full buy coming out from IZAKO balls. They're using those bomb plants to at least allow him to fight for it again. Going to be full AKs though. We won't see that all on Exus. It's going to be a fast long take coming out. The set piece goes down. Junior though, going to be fighting for it as those fucking go out. Being wide with his team. Ankara finding Stewie to open it up. Down, spamming down bits. Over finding Tau. As the trades go left and right, Ankara fighting Shane. Exus fighting Toba. Exus with the remaining bullet fighting Ankara as Gosadorov finds Avis on the other side of the map. 1 versus 2 now for Exus.
And they should be spotting him crossing in T. Did they? Oh.
That was Capacho watching top mid rather than T-spawn. It was.
Oh, that might be nice.
Might be able to get a bomb plant out of this. You might be able to find a player as well if Gospodarov doesn't turn around in time. 1 minute on the clock, and looks like the players might be slightly wary for it. Capacho.
Oh, Capacho? Well, he does have a very quick flank.
Doing intense, but not committing to it. Gospodarov probably going to be that point of contact. Texas jumps across, not spotting any player. The plant comes through. It's going to be heard by Gospodarov. But Molly going to force him out of position instantly as he looks to run away.
Forces into 1v1s, and then he has a solid chance. Oh, that flash spooks him.
Gospodarov doing a good job just making noise at the moment. Texas now holding that door firmly from behind Capacho. Hustling wide, tearing his head, clean off. Navi Jr. 5-0, they lead against IZAKO BOARS.
So that's the problem. If they just wait long enough, eventually you'll have to divert your eyes. And 5-0, yeah. IZAKO BOARS, they gotta make some magic happen. I mean, at this point, you've got max loss bonus. You can pretty much buy every round, especially if you get the bomb planted. And they're gonna do exactly that. They gotta be wary with their utility though, and keep a little bit of it for their actual execute.
Absolutely, Exus trying to find that player in the smoke. Fortunately, none to be found. As IZAKO BOARS now going to be taking lower tunnel control and just setting on mids, just trying to find a bit of an opening. But Navi Jr., we see they don't really fight for mid. We see them take contact, kind of get a bit of info at the start of the round before just falling all the way back. And the ball player on mid, Ankara, he's just fallen all the way back towards B site. Gosadorov has been able to come down from a AWP in hand. This one's going to go down. It's going to give him a bit of warning. And that AWP is going to alert him to the split. Ankara going to spot all of them. Drop that molly, preventing any push. As Patrick can hear those players drop. And the kills go back and forth. Shane and Avis sliding Patrick and Ankara. Gospodarov finding Shane. And IZAKO BOARS now looking fairly convincing in this round. B site on Dust 2, notoriously one of the hardest sites to retake in the game. As Navi Junior now just going to save. They don't even want to try it.
Yeah, that is finally the first round for IZAKO BOARS. As you could see, and you talked about, they just left the mid open, so the rotations from A towards B were never going to be quick, and they just collapsed 5-on-2. Even if you lose 1 or 2 players, you still have the advantage in that take. Being pushed from 3 different angles is just too hard to handle at that point. Their only utility flying in, like, they have nothing left as well on IZAKO BOARS. All their flashes and smokes and mollies were tossed in on the site, and they just got flushed out.
Absolutely, and let's see if they're able to kind of push forward this round advantage. Maybe try and close the distance. Will be that all in the hands of Nexus. Nova Junior able to force up as well. Going to be a full buy from them. Going to be a little bit less utility, but in the grand scheme of things, they're going to be relatively unscathed from that round loss. They're actually going to see Gospodarov now going for that fast, short control, boosted up with his team. And Nexus now open hand, just going for that initial peek on mid. And Ankara ready for it. He just doesn't even want to fight it. Well, push coming out from IZAKO BOARS. Pacho finding one. How in straight though. Ankara though, there to trade. Finding one of his own. Gospodarov in mid, almost fighting Shane. As Nexus comes out of mid, finding Bits. 2 versus 3 now. Avis fighting center site as the M4 closes the distance, and the M4 actually. Ankara is there before the remaining players of IZAKO BOARS are. The push comes on through. Well, Ankara needs to stay alive. Unfortunately, he was unable to do that. Has Popo. He's going to spot those players. Shane able to find him. And IZAKO BOARS finding their second. Nava Junior leading 5-2.
IZAKO BOARS already tied with their last performance, so it can only go up from here. But yeah, that was a very quick round. Again, as you see, Exus likes going for those hero plays, rush down mid, glances up, ready for the take, and he does manage to cut off the rotations.
Absolutely. A step piece goes out towards long. This time, Nava Junior not fighting for it. They're going to be on a bit of an eco. Trying to crunch on mid. Like Avis is going to be that point of contact. Chucked. Push comes through to us for that first flash. Trying to tap down what he can. Ankara tearing his head clean off with that deagle. Remaining players from IZAKO BOARS looking to execute towards this ace. Like coming up from long now. Folks go down. Now, going to be leading the push.
Okay, the only rifle tagged. Wait, did Exus just shoot him through the smoke? No.
There's a gap in it, and with that, AK will fall. Being tagged down, he's actually going to miss that. God, turn back around, being even more as he decides to risk his life down. The push comes up from short. The spam continuing to land around Exus as he continues to miss shots. As Ankara, AK in hands, will find Shui. Exus finally tearing the head off of Ankara.
Honestly,
and IZAKO BOARS finding their third.
Gospodarov was just Neo matrixing that one, like every single flick.
Absolutely.
No.
Dodging every bullet I was fired at him there.
No, I think that was like 5 shots. God, at that point you must start smacking your entire mouse.
Absolutely. IZAKO BOARS now looking to go for this long control. I'm Junior fighting this time. That means goes out. Historically, this hasn't really worked for them. As Trooper losing his head, Shane finding this.
But we're not living in the history, we're living in the present, and this time they completely domed them.
Batter off, he's going to see that player around him as well. Heads, almost finding Avis, tearing it clean off. And Navi Junior now, the remaining 2 players have a mountain to climb.
Yeah, I would just call the save exactly. Your 2-on-5 retake with no utility left and no defuse kits. There's a very small chance that you win that round. However, IZAKO BOARS, they have a couple of plays with still a pretty penny left, so they might just go for the full-on hunt.
Absolutely, but they might be doing so. We see those players pushing up from short, going on back, and actually IZAKO BOARS favouring to build that economy. We saw when they played against level up. Earlier, their main focus was that they were constantly forcing against each other. They ran out of money very quickly, both teams being forced down to SMGs more rounds than they could play with rifles. I suspect they don't want a repeat of that here.
Well, they're just slowly crawling forward. No real actual hunt has been initiated. But they got a good chunk of change on the IZAKO BOARS right now.
Absolutely. Now, realizing this is a very different IZAKO BOARS to the one they played this morning.
Okay, let's see. What do they have on Navi Juniors? They have the 2 M4s, and that's about it. Couple, maybe upgraded guns with a little bit of utility.
Yeah, Navi Junior going up for the storm control. The swing comes forward. Capaccio. Oh, my God, Spartarov going to be there to support him. So the Eagle spams through. We find Spartarov. That's the Eagle, though, not the gun. Capaccio taking him down. He'll swing wide, taking down Nexus, swinging further. Ready to fight that player from behind blue. As Shui now looking to fall on the way, he goes into a 3 versus 3, and Ankara from behind has actually been able to secure that bomb. Even though Tao has been able to get towards that A site, they still don't have the bomb. And Shui, though, spotting that player from behind, Ankara able to take him down, picking up that orb, and holding the angle, the bomb in the hands of Navi Junior. Out shifts on forwards. Ankara taking down Tao. It's all on Shane. 1 versus 2. And spam down bits. Ankara will find him. And what a 3k from Ankara. A 2k from Capaccio there. The 2 players who actually saved their rifles, completely carrying Navi Junior to their 6th round there. A beautiful fight for that long control.
16-0-5, and they're going to pick up the double up. And you called it last round with the aggressive A-long take that it didn't pay off in the past. That round it did, but the previous round they got completely butchered against the Deagles M4s and then got sandwiched in thanks to the great flank from Ankara.
Comes on through. This time, Navi Junior not really fighting for it. They're actually going to knife each other accidentally. Bits falling to 75. 78. Ankara actually aggressing in towards tunnels. Nexus shotgun AWP setup here. Players.
Oh, this is
closer.
Who's gonna peek first? And
Nexus will find Nexus.
Oh,
agonizingly close for both players there. That AWP turning into a bit of a shotgun out point blank as IZAKO BOARS having to respond by shifting up long. The Spartarov gonna find Avis as the push comes out. So the players closing the distance towards that site. Take a fair bit of fire damage before they even get close. Troper in Gandalf can make a lot of noise. Maybe able to fall away as well. Bam comes through. Light coming through from Shane. And Ankara through the car. Gonna tear the head clean off of Tao. Open out on Gandalf is gonna be such a pain. IZAKO BOARS to fight. Shui finding Capaccio, Gospadarov trading onto Shui. Shane, that remaining player. Troper swinging wide, tearing his head clean off. Navi Junior making it 7.
Navi Junior have had enough. They came to play and they started to fall asleep slowly, but now they're stepping it up with the double op setup. Both oppers getting a double kill, and I mean that car on A long is literally just a cardboard box. Like everything flies right through and blows you up. So it was even a headshot to boot. But that is one of the worst positions to stand in as a player. I mean, of course, you do have cover, but it's just terrible to just get sprayed down there as well.
And it looks like Avis learnt that all too painfully at the start of last rounds. IZAKO BOARS now going for that lower tunnel control. I've got Spartarov boosted up. He's going to spot that initial player as well, and that connects the bomb. He'll take down Avis, spotting the... Not quite spotting the bomb, that was in the hands of Shane. That's the man advantage instantly in the hands of Navi Junior. Shane taking a fair bit of nade damage as well.
Yeah, that's the advantage for Navi Junior. And there is no... very little utility left on the IZAKO BOARS. 2 smokes, 2 mollies, and a flash. So if you're going to push A, you definitely need a couple more flashes.
They're actually pushing on the short with a flash. Unfortunately, Shane playing anti-flash. Able to take down bit and put that man advantage back in favor of Navi Junior.
Look at how far pushed up Shui is. With the X's holding the site. He's just hugging the wall the entire time.
If he peeks, he's going to find him, almost finding the head of that pit player. That flash Exodus through the woods. He's going to find Gospodarov, a great little opening found from him there. Finding a second as well. Shane able to trade. Capaccio there to help out as well. It's all on Exodus now. 1 versus 2. Open Ann has already found 1 in this game. We'll have to see if he can find a second. That plant will come through. Just faking it out with 10 seconds left. He doesn't really have much time at all. Ankara and Capaccio, we see how well they played when they took on control. Exodus, a great shot from him. Almost finding the second as Capaccio able to take him down. Finding Navi Jr. there 8. And securing them a half victory on the CT side of Dust 2.
Great attempt, but they the cross, they had a 2-man defense on the cross and they just couldn't pass it without the utility. They had no smokes to get onto the other side, so they just had to dry peek it through a flash. But eventually it's literally staring the beast in the eyes and they lost. But a very good attempt there, especially from X's with the op. That second flick was right. I mean, that was just a millimeter off.
We're actually going to see Ankara now aggressing on short with that. Or Navi Jr. That at the moment, that useful usage on. Well, just forcing IZAKO balls away. Head back down towards T spawn. Not committing anywhere just yet. Boost it up. Careful for that. However, IZAKO balls reacting to Atlas's call. That long's clear. He's been able to shift on out and execute on towards the safe site could prove to be potentially fruitful for them. They are going to have to run the gauntlets up long with Ankara open hands, raining death from that A site.
A lot of flashes though, so they could completely blind Ankara and get close.
Absolutely. Like goes on down, bang a bit of a flank to come on through Ankara. Flash of his own, buying himself a bit of time as the set piece comes on out. So now Ankara, that point of contact, the flashes go on out. He's going to fall on away. Flash of his own to just buy a bit of time. Many players falling back, hugging that wall. Correct chance spot that first player falling away before the push even comes through. And Ankara finding the first bit, finding out on short. Shane is tearing head clean off of Ankara as well, and if they can get to that ult, it can be pivotal in this retake. Gospodarov finding Shui as he tries to push on away. Shane flashed out of position, going to be holding CT, tapping on towards short where he can. He'll spam. He'll find Capaccio. Bit finding access to trade though. Shane now 1 versus 3. On ramp, he'll tear the head off of Topa there. A great shot for himself as he'll push up further. Bit's going to be closer to this to him, above him. And Shane hitting him, but not killing him. Bit down with just 5 HP. Able to close out the round, though.
Another round where they get very close on IZAKO boards, but just not enough. I mean, that jump up from Bit, he could have 5 HP left on Bit.
We're going to see a timeout coming on as well here. As IZAKO balls, I would assume, trying to figure out what can they do to break this Navi Junior defense.
Yeah, IZAKO boards. What's going to be the plan? Or are you going to go for... I mean, I did really like the X's mid, aggressive peak that they did go for that one round where they split mid and B. I think that's their best chance because, honestly, Ankara and Gospodarov on A site are a little bit painful with those ops.
And something I do want to highlight, IZAKO balls, the issue they have is they haven't really built an economy. We see it this round, but before they kept forcing and they were relying on that max loss bonus. The issue is when you don't have much utility, the only real place you can go is short. And we've seen just how effective Navi Junior are there. And that's kind of bottlenecked IZAKO balls fairly convincingly. Granted, they do have utility now. We see them stacked up towards this B site. Spadarov smoked off by that push. Nexus now ready for that peak. From short, that's finally a man advantage towards IZAKO boards.
That was such heads-up play. You smoke off. I mean, they've gone for the boost multiple times. You smoke off so that they can't peek the lower tunnels. And you know that he's most likely going to peek in mid because he wants to make something work. And then you just catch him off. But this hold coming out.
Finding one, Shane trading, Capacho trading as well. And as the kills go both ways, that's a fairly good way to tie up the man advantage for Navi Jr. Exos now, we see him shifting forward in towards Biz with that, obviously how effective it is, that spam from that AUG doing less damage than you'd expect as push and flash comes through. Biz in the molly, gonna fall as he's taking Avis's body with him. 2 versus 2 now, and Capacho not really fighting for the site just yet. He's going to wait for the players to come on out towards him. He's going to hear them to this. Spam down what he can. Blade in hand. This could prove to be deadly. Unfortunately, it lands a bit too shy. Big pushing forward. The flash line. Capacho to take him down. Follow-up push is there. And Topa there's Nexus's head. Clean off. And Navi Jr. making double digits. 10-4 now as they lead against the IZAKO BOARS.
Yeah, that was a interesting. I mean, honestly, the IZAKO BOARS strats there were really good. The short push that he got caught off guard, Axis, and then the second one where they expected Navi Jr. to push aggressively towards B, which they did. Unfortunately, did not manage to get the double kill, but the idea behind it was perfect.
Going down in mid, allowing Exus to peek up towards CT. Ankara, though, giving an inch. IZAKO BOARS flashing, taking mid control. Even though they're at a man disadvantage, they're just aggressing where they can. Try and get it back in their favor. Exus. Weakness, link on closer. Attacking down Topa, as I was saying. Exus, though, in CT. And aggressive a bit further. That molly, forcing Shui away, and doing a great job to regain on control. Have got Spider off, and Mid is going to spot that first by taking down Nexus. He's going to re-peek as well, taking down Shane. A great shot as well. Another peek locked and loaded, ready to come on one. Spider is going to hit that play. He's going to find Tau as well. Big wide and almost find Shui as well. Topa's going to be the one who takes him down. And what a round from Gospodarov there.
I would be really pissed off with my teammate right there, stealing the ace. Nah, it's something you don't do. You just let him attempt it until he dies, like a true champ and a true teammate. But what a round from Gospodarov with the op. I mean, he has to step up on care because Gospa is the main opper, and on care with the op, you know, he's the top fragger spot. You want to knock him down.
Well, we're going to see a pause come out as well. I would assume on the side of IZAKO BOARS while they decide what can you do against Navi Jr. here.
Well, the odds favor Navi Jr. slightly with a 1.04 odd.
9-1 at IZAKO BOARS take this. And if we look on the buy from IZAKO BOARS as well, it's fairly utility heavy. You're going to see some smokes, a lot of flashes, and a kit in the hand of Exos. It wouldn't surprise me if they play retake on B, stack a fair few players towards A, and then use that to push in their own right. That's U2 now. Ready to be used to potentially retake long, actually. That's Navi Jr. making a bit of noise towards short, taking contact before falling on away. Bearing in mind their utility is only a flash now, so we expect to see some fairly heavy angels to be taken from them.
Yeah, they're gonna split A, it seems. They do have one flash left. Flash him off the angle and then push forward. Oh, dry peek coming through. Nice goosh onto Suyu.
A bit of damage. Cacho finding Avis. That's the opening bit. Finding Shui as well. Exus now being that lone man. Topa taking him down. And IZAKO BOARS melting against that Navi Jr. offensive towards that ace site. Tau and Shane pushing on forwards. Tau taking down Gospodarov. Pushing on a bit closer. Actually, nothing to be found. Actually, Tau finding one of his own, and they're doing a great job on this retake. Ankara going into it as he finds one. Tau on a rampage. But Topa has another thing to say about that. Navi Jr. finding their 12th round as they lead 12-4 now against IZAKO BOARS.
Yep, that is, I mean, they got pretty close, but there was, that was a little bit of a weird situation where they were kind of out in the open. and stuck because A site was already secured by Navi Jr. But then another round coming through, and the IZAKO boards are gonna just full on stack B, where there is a reasonable rush towards tunnels.
But IZAKO balls, this just must be heartbreaking to stack the site, hear the players there, then hear them just turn away and lose interest. Anchor swinging on mid, push comes through, and IZAKO balls, they've gone from stacking B to now being trapped on B, as they can't rotate away because of Anchor, and they can't rotate back into tunnels because Carpaccio's there, as they become prisoners in their own sites. Yeah. Come on. Follow-up pushes down the remaining player, swinging wide. Shane finding one of his own as well. It's going to be that remaining player, but he'll find 3. And with that, it's all on Shuey. 1 versus 3, USP in hand.
One man and a dream.
Here's them all around him. Goes forward. He just doesn't shoot. He just accepts his fate as Navi Jr.
Hoping that they'd be blind right there, that they just look past him and just walk into sight, maybe get himself a couple of dinks. But unfortunately, at the moment, IZAKO boards, they have 2 players that are kind of struggling, Avis and Shuyi, which is surprising because Avis actually, I think, was top fragging on the nuke map.
Yeah, but, he was. He was playing amazingly.
Yeah, at the moment, he's not performing at his best.
Good balls.
But
trying
Bit
to take
is.
long control there without that smoke and Bit. Just dead clean off. IZAKO balls, they're going for things that they can only do with full utility. And when they're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel, you know, 3 smokes that they only really want to hold defensively, they're going to have a really big issue fighting for long with just a molly, you know? And actually they were punished for that fairly heavily there as Navi Jr. getting long control. Granted, we're going to see a push from Exus as they take mid clean off them. Shuey going to be there to support him.
Yeah, but they keep a flanker. Anker is holding the flank the entire time. Now he's gonna fall back, so the flankers could push in, but Gospodarov knows.
Yeah. Let's spot that first player. He's gonna be wary of the seconds. However, Shuey able to trade him. Now pushing towards elevator, seeing what he can find. Shen finding a second. Shen finding a third.
Wow.
What a 3K.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hope's alive.
That looks impossible for IZAKO balls there. A beautiful 3K. Yeah, it's Navi Jr. Kind of like stopped in their tracks for a moment, having to hesitate before they go any further. And it looks like they've kind of been reset here. It will just be pistols from them as we see them going out towards what could potentially be a long fake followed by a B hits, and also aggression towards mid.
I mean, IZAKO, they only need 11 rounds.
Absolutely.
Hey, they've at least beaten double their previous game score, so looking a lot better. I mean, honestly, a lot of these rounds have been so incredibly close that it's very unfortunate that the round difference is still this big.
Absolutely.
Oh, run boost? Seems?
Could be Navi Jr. Bring out some of the fun stress. The jump goes out. The run boost to follow, and Shuey is across there, full that position. They're all able to push up. Avis finding 1, Avis finding 2. Trying to tap down a third. Striker and Carpaccio able to take him down. However, that bomb's fallen into CT, and meaning this round's pretty much a write-off for Navi Jr. Exus finding 2 of his own. And IZAKO balls finds 6.
Yeah, the hope is still alive. I mean, they have to string a lot of rounds in a row. Of course, Dust 2 is kind of T-sided with the disparity of A site and B site being so far apart, and you can easily push through the middle area to secure one site for your team.
Okay, so Navi Jr. now in prime position for what would be a B take. 4 players stacked up towards there. It's going to be a fast one. That smoke goes down, preventing any further pushes. Flashes go off as well, pulling any rotation away. Those nades go off, and the flank comes in from mid. Avis missing his shot, actually, uncharacteristically. Now it's going to be that point in contact. Now look at the amount of utility that Navi Jr. have just burned from IZAKO boards. They've got nothing left as that piece of Navi Jr. comes out towards short. Shui missing his shots. He falls on away. A bit close to this, is trying to find what he can. Extra swinging from long. Pacho able to find Tau on the rotation. That's needs to come through. Shui finding Pacho. Bit finding access. It's all on Shui. He'll be found. And Navi Jr. find their 14th.
That was a pretty aggressive round from Navi Jr. themselves. They just literally never stopped pressing the run button. Full sprint all over the map. And I mean, this is just the Navi Jr. when they have the utility and the weaponry ready and are, yeah, this was really well done. Flashing them off positions, smoking them out, forcing IZAKO BOARS to overutilize in some of these fights, as you previously mentioned.
Swing on wide bits, opening it up, finding Tau, and IZAKO BOARS with such a poor buy, they do just have to get up close where they can. Unfortunately, Navi Jr. doing such a good job at making space. Nexus is going to be pushing in towards long, but again, they're ready for him. Bankra and mid, Shui tearing his head clean off, finding a second on Pacho though. Doing a piece of his mind as X is able to trade. Going into a 2 versus 3 now. 2 versus 2 now for Navi Jr. Bit finding Exodus's head. Wary of a follow-up push as well. Pops it in towards mid, tearing the head off of Avis. What a shot from Bit there, and what a round as well as he goes on to his third for the round. Shane now, remaining player, P250 and armor in hand. He's just going to push towards slot mid, hoping to pick up one of his teammates' guns. Navi Jr. shift on closer towards the A site.
Walks past the M4, the FAMAS. He's like, nah, this ain't worth my time.
Going for that
8K or bust.
And they'll be mollied off. He won't be able to go for this push just yet. The plant comes through from Gaspadarov. Not going to prevent any further push. He'll drop one of his own. He'll bring a flash of his own as well, trying to prevent from being found. Bits will take him down now. A 4K from him. As Navi Jr. going 15 to 6.
Oh, Bit fighting up against Onkar. Who's going to get top fragger? He's got to go big this round. Go big or go home. Or to the playoffs. I mean, you know.
Yeah, all that. Both work. As Navi Jr. now looking to close out the map. Now, going to be that point of contact. It's going to hit those nades go off around him. But falling on away.
The next map, of course, going to be Overpass, which is a map that Navi Jr. have not won a single game on in the last 3 months.
Roper finding the head off of Exus. That's the opening for Navi Jr. IZAKO BOARS going to be rough spot. They have bottom of the barrel utility here.
Wave is going to be playing close, which is probably your best bet here with the Deagle.
Oh, can. Bankra spots him. CT smoke gets dropped. And game is on. Navi Jr. committing to this B push. Jane flashed off completely, dropping that smoke. Buying himself a bit of time, and that's what he's gone. Patrick finding one, Bit finding another. Avis being taken down as well. Shui. Ankara exchanging fire with him, and Shui just pushes in towards
1v5. Come on, man.
Flash goes off.
Team Flash. Coming through.
Squad, he'll just spam what he can. Unfortunately, that Hellfire bullet's going to take him down. Gaspadarov finding him, and Navi Jr. take it. 16 to 6.
So they did better than earlier today, but it's still nowhere near enough of what they need to achieve.
Absolutely. And, well, if you look, what a game. I mean, IZAKO BOARS did better than how they previously did, but how do you analyze that? You know, IZAKO BOARS just categorically shut down time and time again. And I did mention at the start how IZAKO BOARS, their primary game is to get control and fight for it. We saw this on ramp, on Vertigo especially. However, they tried it on long here, and Navi Jr. just ready for them. They just categorically shut them down around the map, and it meant that IZAKO Boards never really had a chance to gain momentum or get going with it. And of course, with the losing rounds, their style is to force up, constantly keep on the pressure. But when you're forcing up, you don't have the utility. And, sites like B and Low, you can't take without utility. So they're forced to go up short. And we just see time and time again, that means free reign for Navi Jr., who we saw them aggressing into tunnels and just to get in control without any real problem. Again, Navi Jr. had players there, or sorry, IZAKO Boards had players there, but they just can't capitalize off it because they don't have the utility to follow up on any kill they get.
Yeah, exactly like you're saying, the constant force ups really did them in because there are, Dust 2 is probably one of the strongest utility based maps in the game because there are so many open areas. Like, for instance, if you go out short, literally everything is open. You need to either smoke everyone off, which is nearly impossible up there. You normally throw one smoke and then you just pop like 4 flashes to make sure that the opper is not looking in your direction. But if you don't have the flashes, you saw Gospodarov literally just standing there with the op and just, oh, another one butts. Oh, another one butts. And, if you don't flash them off the position, they don't have a reason to fall back.
Absolutely, and I worry this could play into overpass as well. We see teams that constantly want to take short control, especially on B, or aggress towards mid. And Navi Jr., we see them do such a good job at preventing any push. So I suspect that we'll see this aggression and this fight always taken around shorts. And I would suspect it to go in Navi Jr.'s favor simply because they are going to be just fighting for it every single time. Whereas IZAKO Boards expects to show presence and force the enemy to back away. And this is kind of what happens when two aggressive teams just butt heads, where you don't really see who wins until the Angels come in. And again, I also expect Exus on the IZAKO Boards to be taking some fairly aggressive mid peaks with that AWP towards Fountain just to try and get that man advantage. And we'll just have to see if Ankara or Topa are going to be able to, or Gospodarov, sorry, my apologies, are going to be able to kind of punish that sort of peak that we'll see from Exus there.
Yeah, it's you're right on one. I do love I love the fact that both these oppers, Gospodarov and Nexus, are both very aggressive oppers. So on a map like Overpass, I do expect the fountain peak from both sides, the T and the CT side, to come in. The monster peaks, those big long range peaks where you just try to take the fight and win it. And with that, we are going to break before map number 2, which is of course the pick from IZAKO Boards. We'll see you guys after the break in 5.
Nice shot. Lock and load. Wow, very good. Let me show you how it is done. Yeah, no. Damn! That was one of the best nickel fights I've been to.
Hello, I'm Newcaster Crema 3, joined by DK Truman, as we're going to be taking on the second map of Navi Junior versus IZAKO BOARS. It's going to be Overpass. What are your thoughts on this, Truman?
Well, as previously mentioned, Navi Juniors have a 0% win rate on the map after playing it 4 times in the last 3 months. I mean, courtesy of HLTV, as always. Whereas IZAKO BOARS, they do have a pretty, decent win rate on the map. They've got it's actually their map with the highest win rate that they have, 60% after 5 matches. So this, if there's ever a chance to beat Navi Junior, this is it. It's going to be still a pretty tough one because Navi Junior, it looked like they were just the better aimers. But we'll see what kind of strats IZAKO BOARS have behind them.
Absolutely, and it kind of makes you wonder. You look at the percentage, and it's something it doesn't quite show is the quality of teams they're against. And so you look at IZAKO BOARS, even though it's a 60% win rate on Overpass, these against teams like Moscow 5 Academy, Singularity, Fate, where they're still good, but they're not tier 1. With Navi Junior, their losses have been against Espada, Half Legion, teams that the reality is are very, very strong on these maps. And so even though they've only played it 4 times against fairly tier 1 teams, IZAKO BOARS, again, 5 games, they've been able to do it on a fairly consistent basis, but against worse teams. So we'll have to see how that plays in and see if maybe they just balance out at about 50-50, or if IZAKO BOARS genuinely are really good on Overpass, and if Navi Junior genuinely are weak on Overpass. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much the fun of CSGO. We'll always have to wait and see. I mean, it could be that for all we know, Axis is going to pop off on the op. It is also, I mean, most maps are really good op maps. I do love the aggressive possibilities on this map compared to most other maps. Yeah, I would say this one and probably Inferno have the most interesting aggressive op opportunities. And with these the Navi Juniors squad being fairly aggressive themselves, as is IZAKO BOARS, I do expect a lot of those op duels to come in if one of the teams can, of course, afford the op and not force up every single time where they have no utility left.
Absolutely, and to me, the player I want to highlight, Bits and Ankara, both players playing very well for Navi Junior. We saw that their consistent control on long, when IZAKO BOARS would just chuck that execute and just try and get brute force with what they have. And Navi Junior does a very good job to just shut that down instantly. And I would really like to see the same being done on B Short, especially maybe Connector, and just constantly fight for that mid stash kind of general control on this B site, allowing rotations to come through, allowing Navi Junior to stack this A site. And the reality is, I think for IZAKO BOARS, they're going to have to find a way to counteract the aggression that will inevitably come from Navi Junior. I expect them to be pushing A long, maybe even taking monster control at points. So it would be very interesting to see how they react with that, whether they show even more aggression and I hope to kind of just out-aggress the aggressor, or if they actually just play slow, wait for them to push, and then try and retake what they had lost, which is something we saw Level Up do against the IZAKO BOARS. Granted, it didn't work, but it's still worth a try, potentially.
Yeah, and that is something that I do like. IZAKO BOARS was pretty much mainly aggression. Level Up was mainly very defensive, methodical play, and Navi Junior's got both. I mean, they've got
Absolutely.
a nice little playbook that they can go scroll through and then which one to choose. Okay, let's go for that strat. See if that one works out. Overpass is a map with a lot of rotation possibilities, with Connector being so accessible to both teams. So you can easily smoke, B site and then have everyone ready, positioned at A to push quickly and shut down the defense.
The other thing I'd really like to see, especially from IZAKO BOARS, is something we kind of saw them do on Dust 2, but they didn't really capitalize of it too well. I want to see them explode off this initial pick. We saw that they would get a kill on short, and then kind of stagnate a little, decide, and then commit to that short play. That's allowed the Navi Junior player to push back and then commit to that. However, we'll have to see. We're going to be going live into the knife round now. It's Navi Junior take on IZAKO BOARS on Dust 2.
Well, there we go. Who's gonna win it? Last time it was Navi Juniors. Okay, okay. I'll stick with the IZAKO boards.
Cast
Come
the
on.
curse coming in. Navi Junior having won it by a landslide last time. We'll have to see just how it fares. Fights go left and right. Gasparov opening it up, and the trades categorically sliding in the favour of Navi Junior, taking that knife round.
Truman is always right.
My apologies, that was IZAKO BOARS that won that. It seems with the wrong way round.
Wait, what? I'm getting confused. It was IZAKO boards winning it, right? And are they gonna
Yes,
start?
it was.
What side are they gonna choose?
Now it goes to warm up just before we commit, and it looks like IZAKO BOARS choosing to switch, going
Nope.
on to
But
that CT
okay.
side.
Okay,
There we
everything
go.
was swapping around.
We had a small HUD bug, but it's all good now.
There you go. IZAKO boards on the CT side, which is kind of the norm on this map. It's reasonably CT sided because of the easy rotations from in CT from A to B for the CT side. Of course, you can rush. This is one of the most executable maps in the game as well, especially B site. Like, you can smoke Molly off the entire thing. And we'll see what kind of executes Navi Junior has. Pistol round on its way.
Absolutely. We're actually going to see very little utility, which is smoke and two flashes. Looks like they're going to be going for a very fast B-take. That's a fast heaven smoke. That piece comes down. The push to follow. Flash 1 goes off flash 2 to follow. Bit taking contact on Pillar. He'll find Abyssal. Also find Extra's Tau. Able to trade though. Shen from Barrel finding one of his own. Gasparov trading. 2 versus 2 now as Navi Junior able to get control of that site. IZAKO BOARS entering the retake. We'll have to see just what they can find. Topa and Gasparov haven't really been able to leave the site though.
That was a 4-man stack from IZAKO boards on B.
And
The old pub strap.
brute force from Navi Junior really to pay off. We're going to hear that play towards water. Gasparov fighting Tau. So he's going to be that remaining player. And still just try and tap down what he can. Trying to find Gasparov. He will eventually. I think that's 1 bullet left in the chamber. He'll swing on wide. Unfortunately, Idle 20. He will take him down.
0 bullets. Completely nothing left, and he still manages to hit that last shot to win the pistol.
And with the kit straight in front of him as well. Sticking that 10-second defuse, knowing he'll win it. IZAKO BOARS take it 1-0, finding that pistol round. See him now. Very little ammo left. 3 bullets.
I do love the good old pub strat. Stack 4 on B, 1 peek mid fountain. If he sees anyone, then they rotate back, and otherwise dip.
Absolutely. And right here you'll see Navi Junior now responding with a force buy. Will be that hero AK builds on Bits and Ankara as they can take that party control.
Nice nade though, thrown in, and they'll just fall all the way back. But long range AK taps, a headshot's all they need. I mean, utility wise, both teams have about the same amount of nades. Oh my!
What a shot from Bit there, tearing the head clean off of Tau. Ankara finding Exus, and that's the explosion. Ankara finding Avis as well, and IZAKO BOARS just shut out that ace site.
That
Remaining
was
players.
a filthy tap.
Absolutely disgusting. IZAKO BOARS now holding onto those M4s and just saving. What can you do against that? Just what can you do? Bits showing that he's here to, well, he's not here to play.
Flank coming in from behind. Topa. Does give away the positions. I don't know if you actually saw Shane. But Navi Junior have rifles on all, and they also want to make a little bit of a bank.
Oh, Junior taking or equalizing 1-1.
It's looking pretty dangerous for IZAKO board. I mean, Bit with that clean tap, that's just demoralizing. You just hear one bullet. My teammate's dead. Wait, what?
Yeah, and for IZAKO BOARS, their force bite isn't looking too promising. It will be 2 and 4s with the utility, and that's about it. Pretty much the same by Navi Junior hand. However, this time they're fighting it with full AKs. We can see that aggression in towards Connector. However, it doesn't work. Topa finding 2. Ankara finding Abyss. It's all on Nexus now. As Ankara will take him down. And it's all on Shane. 1 versus 5, and within the first 20 seconds of the round, everyone's gone. Shane blinked twice and his teammates just disappeared.
Yeah, that was a very quick round, and I mean the B take was of course quick, but in Nectar they lost the engagement there against Topa, and yeah, that was just that was way too fast.
Absolutely. Shane now just going to try and bait away the attention from himself and just look to save this M4. Look at the economy on IZAKO BOARS, and it's diabolical. 0 and 50 to be seen around the board. 200 on Shui, 950 on Shane, but
in the meantime, Navi Junior, they're just flexing with all 5 alive, AKs, 1 M4, and pretty much literally all the utility they need. Like,
absolutely.
they're still full on utility.
Terrorists win.
That's a clean background. Navi Junior.
And IZAKO BOARS now looking like they are probably going to just eco around this M4, hoping to maybe just get the odd pick, maybe boost them up somewhere, and just pass on the M4 every time someone dies. However, it will just be a matter of time before that gets old for themselves.
Yeah, I'd probably go for the aggressive, well, they're gonna go, I guess, 2-man and connector, including the M4. Didn't pay off last time, and he's gonna go for the boost, however the smoke completely blinds him, thanks to the... That's a little bit of an oops.
Finding Avis to open it up, here's just USB. The dink will force him back a little bit, with just 40 HP. However, Ankara will trade onto Shui.
Mine froze.
Unfortunately, we appear to have lost the stream for a second.
A little bit of a problem here.
And well, it's probably safe to assume that Navi Junior gonna win this or win this round.
I assume so. I mean, hey, maybe we'll see the best, you know, USB ace of our lives. And
potentially. However, assuming that Navi Junior win this, it will be a full spike coming out from IZAKO BOARS. And potentially, I would really like to see them react in a more aggressive way. We see them trying to take connector control, didn't really work. We kind of want to see them maybe double it up, be short control, maybe a push on towards long, or something similar to that, rather than just sitting back and kind of letting Navi Junior come to them. Granted, they had to that round because they did just have an eco, but that style of play is what I would really like to see.
yeah, I mean, they're trying to be a little bit aggressive, but Navi Junior, you have to go pretty bold to try and beat them in a straight aim duel. So yeah.
Again,
A beautiful picture though.
For the wee delay, should be going live soon. Alright, and we're live again. It's going to be a 4-man boost coming out from Navi Junior, looking to get a little peek towards that ace site, and IZAKO BOARS ready for it, trying to tap down that Navi Junior stack. However, they're unfound as they fall on back.
Oh, but in connector, there's a nice little push coming through.
Nexus is going to hear that for sure. He's going to hear those players all around him. He's going to come up. Hopefully he'll have the right time. Gospadarov not quite finding him though. Tau going to draw any attention away as well.
Oh, this is a very good play coming through. Oh, but he gets spotted in the end.
Contact made. Tau able to trade though onto Topa, making it a bit deadly. At least getting that 1-man advantage before falling on away. We'll see Anchor actually pushing down into connector, making some contact of his own. Nexus falling on away.
Navi Junior, 1-man down, slight advantage for IZAKO BOARS, and it seems they're gonna go for the B execute. He needs to be careful, Shiryu, because he could get flashed off the angle very easily.
As all about 20 seconds left now, they don't have much time. Shui finding two of his own, picking up that AK, spamming through, finding another one. Now Bit being taken down by Exus.
And now IZAKO BOARS managed to keep all 5 alive and build their bank slowly.
Now it's Navi Junior now. Going to be trying to at least keep a hold of their economy. See if IZAKO BOARS taking that and able to force into this fairly comfortably. It will be that orb in the hands of Exus.
What kind of... I do want to see the Exus op get aggressive. Nice spray through the wall. A lot of wall banging on this map as well.
Now, going to be holding alone in that smoking toilet. Teammate not really there to support him. Tao will be covering the distance, but Gospodarov, a peek in the right place, could end that push. The push is a bit late. Oh, Junior though, with toilets control, can push up to safe site fairly comfortably.
Ooh, Exus. Might get a nice peek.
Gonna spot
Misses
them,
the
but
shot.
he's gonna have to fall away. Push comes through, Exus missing their shots. Troper's able to kill him. And Troper finding the follow-up as well, taking down Tao. It's all on Avis now as he pushes closer, trying to aggress onto shorts. Actually finding a follow-up kill. How that flash is gonna put him in an awkward position. Pushes come on through. Avis gonna find one swing further. Ankara able to take him down though. It's all on Shane and Shui. Both players deciding that enough's enough. They can't win a 4 versus 2 or 2 versus 4 retake on that A site as they look to get short control, maybe just fall off, get to despawn, and hold on to the guns they so desperately need going into the next round.
Yeah, this another round where Navi Junior shut them down. Luckily, they do have a little bit of extra money stored up from the previous round, so they should get a decent buy-in to guns are going to get dropped, I assume, from IZAKO BOARS, and they should have a reasonable amount of utility left.
Absolutely. And from the looks of it, they will be able to hold on to these guns. Navi Junior not really committing too heavily to hunting them down.
IZAKO BOARS, they gotta, as you said, maybe get themselves an aggressive... I mean, they did go for the aggressive connector play, but, you know, there are multiple. You could go for the B short, where Navi Junior are rushing themselves almost every round, or go for the long A peak. Make it a little bit more interesting. Now they're just waiting for Navi Junior to collapse half the time.
Absolutely, and we're going to see a timeout come on through from IZAKO BOARS here before we go live into round 7.
Yeah, they gotta decide how to best spend their money. Who buys what utility? Who gets the AKs?
And again, I do really want to see IZAKO BOARS fighting for B short now, as we see that time and time again. Shane and Shui, they're left alone on this B site, having to save without any real control. They have to re-clear B after Navi Junior have taken A, and honestly, we need to have that sort of reaction from IZAKO BOARS in order for them to just get control somewhere. You see them fight for connector, it doesn't really work. I mean, they get info, they sometimes get man advantage, but it's not somewhere you can really hold, as you are eventually forced to fall on away. Whereas B shot's something that you can consistently have throughout the round, and it's relevant at all times. You know, you cut off any rotation towards B, you pretty much put a chokehold on that B site as well.
Well, the B push is going to be pretty nice, hard with the molly thrown down. Nice nade. Is it going to land? It's going to whip, unfortunately.
That's
So
an
no damage
Ankara,
dealt.
great opening onto Shen instantly. Second, Ankara, what a shot onto Shui as well. Pushing further, almost finding a third onto Avis though, as Yorpa there to follow it up. As Capacho will take him down, he's going to spot that Orpa in heaven as well. The remaining 2 players on IZAKO BOARS just going to be fighting for this B site.
Wow. Another one of those nasty fadeaway one taps. Just tick. Oh, I got him. Woohoo.
Nexus going to be that remaining player. He's going to be in graffiti. Rotation node. Capacho swinging wide and tearing his head clean off. Navi Junior taking it 5-2.
I mean, that's just luck of the draw. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Stuff like that.
Absolutely. We are going to have to see how IZAKO Bulls reacts to these pushes from Na'Vi. They're so effective, the trades. And entries just working perfectly for them. We are finally going to see some long control being taken from them. However, it is just with pistols. Exus and Avis just going to be baiting for Tal. He holds firm with his head down. We see short control taken as well. Everything that we needed to see on a buy round now done with pistols.
Let's see how it's going to pay off if the strat actually works with that aggression towards A long.
Oh, we do it. That's
Run
good. Even though
boost.
it's a great push, it's going to force Gospadarov in a difficult position. Bill find Avis. Tal finding Bit and Gospadarov. That nade's going to force the AK back towards them. A great little play there. As those two flashes go off, allowing Ankara to swing on wide. That's what those players are trying to fall on away.
Okay, that was hilarious. How he just jumped and
Tried to
did
run
the run
away.
boost, and then he was like, "Oh no!"
He will survive though, allowing him to find Tao. As remaining players for IZAKO BOARS just trying to aggress. Shui going to be close in the distance, however, Kabacho going to be able to run away just in time before Shui can do any real damage. Exus realizing he's going to be that point of contact. Players start shifting up from long. 35 seconds left now, and Na'Vi Jr. may be having to put the skates on a little bit. As Exus Kabacho, almost while running, tears his head clean off. It will be on. Jane, unfortunately, he'll fall. Shui now going to be that lone player to push on closer to the site. Hugging that smoke, praying. Catch some player off guard. Pushes on through. Starter off, taking him down. Na'Vi Jr. making it 6-2.
Yeah, IZAKO BOARS, it's, I mean, of course, this was, you know, a small force by eco round, but Na'Vi Jr. looking really good. Their strats, their mobility, their Ankar. That guy's been popping off again.
What a game we've seen from him so far. Him and Bit. Those fadeaway shots, those one-taps have just been deadly for IZAKO BOARS. Na'Vi Jr. going pretty heavy in towards Connector. That's like 3 players stacked up. IZAKO BOARS, this is a way to respond to that fast, long, or short control we've seen taken. Avis comes to play where he can, hoping to find a bit of control. As Exus takes fountain control. Bit's going to be ready for it though. Agra coming up, fighting Tao. Exus is going to be that lone player. That flash is going to go off. He's going to be able to flank these Na'Vi Jr. players. However, he's positioning just a bit awkward. He will eventually be able to take down Bits from behind. But Na'Vi Jr. already so far at Banana. Avis is the player who needs to worry next.
He's all alone on site, and they know exactly where he is.
Spotted, spam comes through. Tropa, it's messy, but it works. That's what goes down. Shui unable to swing too heavily. Ankara finding access from behind. Shane and Shui now. Seeing what they can find. Shui just trying to get through that smoke. Tropa instantly taking him down. Kapacho finding Shen. And Na'Vi Jr. 7-2 as they lead against IZAKO BOARS.
They had one player pushing fountain, which of course was a nice play, but holding that angle with the op, yeah, he had absolutely no awareness of the fact that they could have pushed connector, and 3 men came rushing out of connector as well. They're very unfortunate, but you know, those are the drawbacks of going for that aggressive play. You don't have every angle covered.
Absolutely. And we'll see Na'Vi Jr. now. Going for a fairly fast B-take. We see that B short control instantly taking Kapacho, just barreling up towards to get that point of contact. The smoke will prevent any form of push as he does wait for the util to buy him a bit of time. He will just be boosted up from the looks of it. You're almost expecting that boost to be used against him.
But it's a full 5-man B stack for IZAKO BOARS.
That's one opening. That's just what IZAKO BOARS needed. That Heaven Smoke goes on out. Bit's going to be close to the distance. He'll push on forward. As Exus actually finds Bit. The trades come forward though. 3 versus 3 now. Ankara wary of any push from behind. There's none to be found. As Shui being spotted, he'll fall on away, doubling up in once with his teammate. Tagging for what he can. Ankara will find Shui. Tropa finding Tower. It's all on Exus. Grab what he can. Tropa taking him down at Topa. What a round from him. a 3k or 2k there along with Anchor, and it wasn't so much the fact he got the kills, it was more he made the space, and being that first player can always be a daunting task, especially when pushing on to where you know people are waiting for you. But a great round from him to open up that B site.
And they're going to stick with the 1-up setup on IZAKO BOARS. Exis, where's his aggression coming through? Is he going to go for the... Actually, maybe Connector would be a nice peek. But he's going to go balloon. Oh no, long, it seems.
Yeah, and it's like he's almost phased by... It's almost shaken, kind of phased by the Na'Vi Jr. aggression. He doesn't want to be peeking Fountain. He doesn't want to take a peek in Connect. We've seen no more presence in B at all, as he looks to just play a bit more comfortably on long, holding an angle, and just waiting, which doesn't really fit the IZAKO BOARS playstyle.
I mean, this is the exact moment when you go for the run boost. If Gospa has the cojones again to try and go for it. Because if you run boost pass, you can definitely get the shot in before Exis can jump back.
Completely.
Also, he needs to be careful. Yeah, Exis has to fall back because they've got toilets control right now. If they would walk up through long toilets, he would completely get hunted down.
Completely, and Na'Vi Jr., they've taken complete toilets. Actually fairly close. We haven't really seen much of a rotation from IZAKO BOARS. Toilets best spotted, Exis making contact before falling on away. He's now going to be that catalyst for IZAKO BOARS on the defense here. Look goes down. Close to follow Exis now. Gonna be a rock in a hard place. The execute comes on through. The flash is going out. Smoke to follow. Exis finding Troper. The trade is there though. Bits close to the distance. All along as he pushes on forward. Tau. Boost ahead. Just trying to see if he can spot or catch any player off guard. Falling away. Avis finding big batter of Anchor trading onto Shuey and Avis. Tau now. Gonna be leading that defense. 2 versus 3, but Gospodarov gonna find him. Shane. 1 versus 3. Gonna be spotted from Garbage and Ankara. Gonna take him down. Na'Vi Jr., a beautiful execute there.
Look at Ankara. He's at 16-3.
A game so far for him.
Oh, good series so far for him.
And again, Na'Vi Jr., a clean execute there, just covering each other's back and just completely trading kills, getting grounds, and just shutting IZAKO BOARS out of their own sight before they even know it.
Na'Vi Jr. will not have to eco at all this entire half.
Yeah, that money's incredible right now as well.
Almost 16k on 2 players. Oh, that's how little economic damage IZAKO BOARS have been able to do.
Ankara opening up, finding Tau, and IZAKO BOARS just being categorically shut down around the map. Texas, it's Toilet's going to be spotted, he'll take him down. Shen finding Tropa, Bits taking down Shane. And Shui now coming up from Connector, going to spot that first kill onto Bit, going to swing on wide, almost finding a spider off. However, the trade is there. Avis now, that lone player. He'll find Ankara to open it up before he drops down towards B. That's a great read from him actually to know a follow-up is there. Push comes through. Right, spotting Gospodarov, however. Pacho, sorry, my apologies. However, kill isn't there.
Yeah, okay. IZAKO BOARS, another buy round. Are they going to go for the double up? Please do. Or at least let Exis... Come on. Get aggressive. Do something with it. Not hold an angle until they peek you. Actually, until they flash you off of the angle and you fall all the way back towards the site where you're going to get completely set-nated upon. Just make some play. Connector. Okay, it seems they're going to go for the aggressive peek. Tau already gets tagged, though. Pretty heavily.
Known. Badarov completely shutting down that push as well. And Na'Vi Jr. just all over IZAKO BOARS since the Avis boosted. Sure, maybe trying to find something.
But they need a little bit more than something at this point. Oh, bit.
Unhappy
Got
with the
spooked by his own
vegetation.
shadow.
Yeah. Spider up now, taking that AWP duel against Exus. We'll see who wins this. Push comes forward. Got Spider just missing as Exus. Able to trade the push comes forward. Avis now going to be in a ready aggressive position. Ankara though able to take him down before the follow-up is really there. Exus that flash landing behind him. He's still able to aggress. We see how effective he can be on map as well. And Navi Jr. changing their mind, pushing back down towards this B site. Next who comes through the push to follow. Jane is going to be the only real player there to stop them. As Shui able to run through a molly, there to help out. Trooper gonna swing on wide. Shane gonna be that first player on point. Gonna be taken down instantly. A fight 2 before he falls though. 2 versus 2 now. Incorrect, Capacho. What can they bring to this clutch? That's a great nade. Shui going down to just 19 HP.
20 seconds left though.
And Exus
Bomb dropped.
Find that bomb. Ankara fighting him though. 1 versus 1. Shui hugging that smoke, and oh, that bullet almost found him. What is there? Shui being taken down. Ankara winning the 1 versus 2. And Navi Jr. hit 11.
Oh, this is even worse than map number 1.
And IZAKO BOARS being shut down around the map.
And of course, it's Ankara with the clutch.
Blew that
21
map.
and 4.
On fire right now.
Wow.
And IZAKO BOARS, they've kind of gone from the Avengers in their game against Level Up to, well, the Penguins of Madagascar in this game. Being completely, just categorically shut down by Navi Jr. Ankara opening up, finding Exus again.
I mean, I get. I'm just missing X's with. Now he's going connector aggressively, but he doesn't have the op. They need a little bit more of the team play, of the aggression that I'm used to from the CIS region. Tau, nice catch onto Ankara. Another moment when they don't have the guns that they would need to actually win the round. Normally, they get aggressive. Look at the position of Shuyu. Pushed B completely. They know they're coming A, but he wouldn't do this on a buy round. Try these plays on a buy round. See how it goes.
Opening up, finding Tau. See Avis now also being shut down, and just these angels not working for IZAKO BOARS. All in the hands of Shane. One before he's taken down, but bits. Trades are always there for Navi Jr. Shui now. Let's see just what he can find.
Maybe find a nice 8K to save.
He sees one in front of him. But I suppose when they did go on the Eagles this round, so they're going to be buying next regardless.
Yeah, true.
He might
What
as well
kind of play he can make.
try his luck. Find Topa to open it up, covering the distance. We'll go down on that bomb. We'll swing further forward. Bits from behind though. Tyrion said, clean off, and Navi Jr. extend their round lead to 10 rounds. 12-2. They lead against IZAKO BOARS.
Last round of the half. I want to say do or die, but you know, it's more die.
Absolutely.
IZAKO BOARS, if they win this one, win the pistol, then they're still pretty much screwed. I mean, I've seen worse comebacks, of course. Absolutely. It is still CSGO, but it is a reasonably heavy, well, not that heavy, but I'd say 55-45 CT-sided map. Maybe 60-40.
Be found by IZAKO BOARS.
Dewey getting the op kill. They finally went for the double op, but they went for it in the very last round of the half.
Out fighting Troper. And now it's looking a bit more effective for IZAKO BOARS. 2 versus 5 for Navi Jr. And distance being covered. They know that Orthodox is there. We tag down a little bit. Push comes forwards. Bit finding the first Nexus, able to trade, and Tau finding bits. IZAKO BOARS find their third as Navi Jr. finish the half 12-3 ahead as they go to that favoured CT side of Overpass.
Well, IZAKO, you gotta win that pistol, and you gotta completely dominate Navi Jr. next run. I mean, I miss their aggression. They've shown a lot of aggression against Level Up, but here it's just completely missing in every single part of their plan. Every single round that they went aggressive was pretty much either a pistol round, you know, the small buy, or that last round where the I think it was Shiryu with the op that got a little bit more aggressive, but that's what I want to see. Navi Jr., they have an incredible execute on both sides. You just need to stop them before they get towards your site.
Absolutely. Well, let's see a fairly armor-heavy pistol buy from Navi Jr. It will just be a smoke and kit. And IZAKO BOARS repeating that execute almost repeating the execute we saw from Navi Jr. Showing their aggression now as they take B short completely. Allowing them to just get a bit of aggression in towards this pistol round. Ankara able to jump up and boosted as he then goes in to watch Connector.
Well, this is nice aggression from Navi Jr.
Absolutely, and with the reply util all set up, IZAKO BOARS going to push forward towards B, but they won't have any teeth behind this push. As the Connector players will be unable to get there. Bits holding on barrel, the push comes forward, but actually being instantly taken down. Capacho also trying to take some fights. However, the distance is close, and they're going to be a rock in a hard place. Tropa, as he behind these players, and the bomb gets cancelled. Tropa finding one, Ankara finding one of his own. Shen able to find Capacho, as Gospodarov finds Exus. It's all on Avis now, and the push just completely shut down by IZAKO BOARS.
Connector player was waiting for the rotators, and no one even peeked short. So, yeah, it was kind of a little bit of luck for Navi Jr., but also excellently played and great aim to finish that round in their favor. It was, yeah. I want to see a bright light here for IZAKO BOARS, but I can't.
Yeah, we're trying to find a silver lining here, but it's difficult. I've got a fairly heavy utility buy from them. It will just be pistols and armor, but they have the utility to execute a site fairly convincingly. Navi Jr. on the other hand, going to be going fairly aggressive. Pacho, a spam in the right place could spell the end for IZAKO BOARS. However, they are able to get away, taking this short control fairly quickly. As Navi Jr. kind of favouring the guns here rather than the utility. As the set piece goes out, the execute comes forward. And Pacho going to be completely volleyed out of position. Shane taking down one. Shui finding one of his own. Shui finding a second on Capacho. Bit and Ankara now. 2 versus 3. That Molly gonna almost force that player away from sight, but Shui going to be ready for Ankara in heaven to be taken down. It's all on bits, and IZAKO BOARS. This B take working beautifully for them.
Finally, this was a rather aggressive round. They got very quick control of short, and then, as you said, they went for a pretty heavy utility buy, and they just threw everything they had over the edge, completely blinding the CT defenders, and then cleaning up the site.
Absolutely. And with that bomb going off, that will be the signal for IZAKO BOARS to eventually buy up into this and, you know, maybe try and string some rounds together. As Navi Jr. on the other hand, going to be forcing into it themselves will be deal and armor instantly brought onto Capacho.
I mean, Navi Jr., they're probably going to force up a couple of times.
Absolutely. I don't think they're willing to give up this round lead without too much, well, without a fight. And we're going to see this now from Gospodarov, scout in hand, looking like they want to aggress towards Fountain.
Okay, Ava's trying to spot out the aggressive connector push.
The song isn't quite there, so full on away. Out, seeing what he can find. Gospodarov. Yeah, and just trying to find some heads from IZAKO BOARS. You can see that spot go down, forcing him out of position. As Tao finding a scout bullet for his worries while falling on away. Bear in mind, Gospodarov with little to no, well, with no armor. So any form of contact is going to be really, well, difficult chance for him as he needs to get that first bullet off.
And let his teammates finish the job.
Absolutely. And Navi Jr. now realizing that IZAKO BOARS favoring this B site, the push into connector as well. Tau going to be spotted. Ankara taking him down. As the follow-up
be a
is there,
nice
actually
rifle
comes through.
secure.
Bacho finding Abbas. Bacho finding Shui as well. The Eagles ringing true for Navi. As Exus finds one, Shane finds another. Ankara finds Exus. It does go back into a 2 versus 1, but Shane is very low. And with 2 kills ready to his name, he's going to have to find 4. Ankara takes them down. And Navi Jr. find 14.
I honestly thought that he actually got a collat shot through the other guys. What happened? That was close to actually being a collat double headshot.
Great 2K from Capacho there. And Ankara again finishing the job, going 26-7 now.
Yeah, Ankara is just completely destroying IZAKO BOARS.
And we are going to see IZAKO BOARS be buying into this again.
Ouch.
And that nade's going to land right at Shui's feet. Badarov, being in connection, is going to spot those players to take down the first, taking down the second as well. Bit finds Shui in the main as well. The remaining players, Exus and Shane, going to be pushing back up towards
And
the safe
Navi
side.
Jr. on their CT side, I mean, of course, it's a little bit different. They've got the feeling that they're going to win this, but they do get very aggressive in peeking Fountain and then the connector hold.
Absolutely.
So, the aggressive CT side so far paying off, but what can IZAKO BOARS do? They've got a Deagle and an AK and a dream. So many dreams today. Or will it end in a nightmare? Nice creeping through. Bit might not expect them to be this close.
Bit might be ready to aggress. He'll spot Shane instantly. And Gasparov finds Exus. Navi Jr. find their 15th round. 15-4 now, as they lead against IZAKO BOARS.
Okay, IZAKO BOARS, they've got pretty much no money left, so it's gonna have to be a run and gun round with, well, they do have enough for a full-on execute. Just sticking to the pistols, even P250s instead of the Tech 9, CZ, or Deagles. Everything they have in utility. It worked out the first time. Why not the second?
That piece goes out. Push onto this piece like Bacho. I would find anything just yet. That nade's going to do a fair bit of damage. That slight cut in half. It finds one. Ankara finds another. Amis able to trade though. And Shed finding one of his own before the trades come left down right. Amis being that remaining player. And he'll fall. Navi Jr. taking the game 16-4. Making it a 2-0 victory for them. As they eliminate IZAKO